Dear students, welcome to the 15th session of Accounting 1 subject of BBA first year. In the session today we will learn about accounting treatment under traditional approach. In the last class we have learnt about the treatment, that is debit or credit treatment of transactions under accounting equation approach. Today we will learn about the concept of debit and credit under traditional approach. As we have understood in the last class, there are two approaches in accounting. The first one is American approach or American system, also known as accounting equation approach. The second one is traditional approach. In India, we generally follow traditional approach in maintenance of books of accounts. Under traditional approach, the accounts are classified under three heads: personal, real, ನಾಮಿನಲ್. ಭಾರತದಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಟ್ರೆಡಿಷನಲ್ ಅಪ್ರೋಚ್ ಅನ್ನ ಬಳಸ್ಕೊಳ್ತೇವೆ. ಆದ್ರಿಂದ ಇವತ್ತಿನ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಟ್ರೆಡಿಷನಲ್ ಅಪ್ರೋಚ್ನ ಅಡಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸಾಕ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನು ಹೇಗೆ ಕ್ಲಾಸಿಫೈ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು ಮತ್ತು ಅವುಗಳಿಗೆ ಸಂಬಂಧಪಟ್ಟ ಡೆಬಿಟ್ ಆರ್ ಕ್ರೆಡಿಟ್ ಟ್ರೀಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಹೇಗೆ ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನು ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಳ್ಳಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಇದ್ದೇವೆ. ಟ್ರೆಡಿಷನಲ್ ಅಪ್ರೋಚ್ ನ ಅಡಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಅಕೌಂಟ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನ ಮೂರು ವಿಧವಾಗಿ ನಾವು ವಿಂಗಡಿಸ್ತೇವೆ: ಪರ್ಸನಲ್ ಅಕೌಂಟ್, ರಿಯಲ್ ಅಕೌಂಟ್ ಮತ್ತು ನಾಮಿನಲ್ ಅಕೌಂಟ್. ಪರ್ಸನಲ್ ಅಕೌಂಟ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ಅಕೌಂಟ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ನ್ಯಾಚುರಲ್ ಪರ್ಸನ್ಸ್. Accounts of individuals, accounts of natural or physical persons are maintained. Accounts of artificial or legal persons such as partnership firms, companies, associations, banks, government institutions, etc. are also maintained or are also classified as personal accounts. Sometimes there are some amounts which are received in advance, or there are few expenses which are due. There are some expenses which are prepaid, or there are some incomes which have been received in advance. These accounts represent the amount received in advance or payable to certain individuals. As these accounts represent the people behind them, persons behind them, the accounts are called representative personal accounts. The second category here is real account. Real accounts are accounts of assets, properties, or things owned by a business concern. The real account may be classified further into tangible assets and intangible assets. Tangible assets are those which have physical existence, which can be seen, touched, felt, bought and sold. For example, cash, furniture, land and building, machinery, etc. Accounts of intangible assets represent those assets which do not have physical existence, such as goodwill, patents, copyrights, trademarks, etc. The third classification of account is nominal account. Nominal accounts are accounts of expenses and losses which a concern incurs and incomes and gains which a concern earns in the course of business. They are called nominal accounts because they do not really exist and they cannot be seen or touched. The nominal accounts may be revenue accounts, for example, incomes, gains, profits, commission, interest, discount, etc. And also the second category is expense account, which are incurred by the business organization. For example, salaries paid, wages paid, discount allowed, bad debts, etc. For recording business transactions in the books of original entry, it is necessary to know the rules or principles of double entry system of bookkeeping. ಯಾವುದೇ ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಅನ್ನ ಪುಸ್ತಕಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಬುಕ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಒರಿಜಿನಲ್ ಎಂಟ್ರಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ರೆಕಾರ್ಡ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಸಂಬಂಧಪಟ್ಟ ರೂಲ್ಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ ರೆಗ್ಯುಲೇಷನ್ಸ್ ಗಳನ್ನು ತಿಳ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋದು ಅತಿ ಅವಶ್ಯಕ. ಎವ್ರಿ ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ಟೂ ಆಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟ್ಸ್: ದ ರಿಸೀವಿಂಗ್ ಆಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟ್ and the giving aspect. The fundamental rule of double entry system of bookkeeping for debit and credit is that the account that receives the benefit of a transaction should be debited and the account that gives the benefit of the transaction should be credited. Hence, for three different classes of accounts, three sets of rules are laid down for application. Let us understand the rules applicable for debit and credit in case of personal, real and nominal account. In case of personal account, the person who receives the benefit from the concern should be debited. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಒಬ್ಬ ಇಂಡಿವಿಜುವಲ್ ಅಕೌಂಟ್ ಅನ್ನ ಯಾವಾಗ ಡೆಬಿಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ, if he is receiving some benefit from the business concern. If the person is receiving the benefit from the business concern, his account shall be debited and the account of the person who is giving some benefit should be credited. For example, I have received cash from my friend Miss Asha, rupees 2000. Now, there are two personal accounts which have been affected: my personal account and Asha's account. Asha is the giver of the benefit and I am the receiver of the benefit. I am receiving cash. So cash is coming in and Asha is giving me the benefit. So Asha is the giver of the benefit. So Asha's account has to be credited and cash is coming into the organization. So cash account has to be debited. In case of real accounts are accounts of an asset which comes into the business and which may go out of the business. So when an asset comes into the business, the account shall be debited, and when the asset goes out of the business, the account shall be credited. For example, purchased furniture worth rupees 10,000 from Big Bazaar. Then I have purchased furniture from Big Bazaar for some payment. So furniture is an asset which is coming into the business. Asset increases. So hence when asset comes into the business, the asset shall be debited. So asset account, that is furniture account, shall be debited. If I made the payment in cash, then the cash account should be credited because cash goes out of the business. So cash is also an asset. When cash goes out of the business, the asset account shall be credited. Nominal accounts are accounts of expenses and losses or incomes and gains. Accounts of expenses and losses shall be debited and accounts of incomes and gains should be credited. ನಾಮಿನಲ್ ಅಕೌಂಟ್ಸ್ ಖರ್ಚು ವೆಚ್ಚಗಳ ಮತ್ತು ಇನ್ಕಮ್ಸ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಗೇನ್ಸ್ಗಳ ಅಕೌಂಟ್ ಆಗಿರ್ತದೆ. ಸೊ ಯಾವುದೇ ಖರ್ಚು ವೆಚ್ಚಗಳು ಆದಲ್ಲಿ ಆ ಖರ್ಚು ವೆಚ್ಚಗಳ ಅಕೌಂಟನ್ನು ಡೆಬಿಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಮತ್ತು ಇನ್ಕಮ್ಸ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಗೇನ್ಸ್ ಲಾಭ ಅಥವಾ ಆದಾಯದ ಅಕೌಂಟನ್ನು ಕ್ರೆಡಿಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾಗ್ತದೆ. ದೀಸ್ ಆರ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ದ ಗೋಲ್ಡನ್ ರೂಲ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಅಕೌಂಟಿಂಗ್ which forms part basis of all record maintenance and bookkeeping, which is the basis of accounting system. Then are these traditional and accounting equation different? I have put a table here where I have matched traditional approach and accounting approach. Traditional approach classifies the account into three types: personal, real and nominal. Accounting equation classifies the accounts under five categories: assets, liabilities, capital, revenue and expense. Debtors can be classified as asset account under accounting equation approach but is a personal account under traditional approach. Creditors, to whom we owe the money, is a liability as per accounting equation approach but is a personal account under traditional approach. Owner's capital or equity is categorized as capital account under accounting equation approach but is a personal account under traditional approach. Assets accounts other than relating to the owners and individuals are categorized as asset account under accounting equation approach and real account under traditional approach. In case of interest received and rent paid, these are revenue and expenses under accounting equation approach and nominal account in case of traditional approach. In either of the cases, the debit and credit treatment will be same when you compare traditional and accounting equation approach. Let us see few examples where we classify the accounts under traditional approach. Capital brought in. So capital is brought in by the proprietor, that is none other than the owner of the business. He is an individual. So an individual is giving us the benefit. So this person's account shall be classified as personal account. Similarly, drawings account. Drawings is nothing but the amount withdrawn by the proprietor from the business. ಹಣವನ್ನು ತಂದವ ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್ ಮ್ಯಾನ್, ಅವನು ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್ಗೆ ಬೆನಿಫಿಟ್ ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾನೆ ಕ್ಯಾಪಿಟಲ್ ತರುವ ಮುಖಾಂತರ, ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಇಂಡಿವಿಜುವಲ್ ಅಕೌಂಟ್ ಆಗಿರ್ತದೆ. ಸೊ ಅದನ್ನು ನಾವು ಪರ್ಸನಲ್ ಅಕೌಂಟ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಕ್ಲಾಸಿಫೈ ಮಾಡ್ತೇವೆ. Similarly, drawings account is also a personal account because it is about the proprietor who is taking away the money from the business. Building purchased. Building is an asset. When it is purchased, the asset comes into the business. So hence it is a real account in nature. Purchases account. It is account of goods. When you purchase, your goods come into the business. So it's a real account. When you sell, sales account stands for sale of the goods made by the business. So when you sell the goods goes out of the business and hence is a real account in nature. Carriage inward is nothing but the expenses paid by the businessman for bringing in materials, stock, raw materials into the business. So this is an expense, so it is a nominal account. Carriage outward is nothing but the expense paid by the organization for movement of goods, finished goods. So this is also an expenditure which is categorized as nominal account. Cash received, cash paid. In either of the cases, cash, that is asset, is involved. Hence, it is categorized as real account. Interest paid is an expenditure in nature, expense in nature, so it is categorized as nominal account. Similarly, interest received, when I receive something, it is an income for me, so hence income account is classified under nominal account. Commission paid is an expense, commission received is income, both of them are nominal in nature. Similarly, discount allowed is an expenditure which we allow on receipt of payment. Conveyance charges or traveling charges or transportation charges. Sales promotion expenses are expenses incurred by the businessman to promote his sales. Entertainment expenses incurred by the business to entertain the customers, visitors of the organization. Subscriptions paid to newspapers, subscription pay for magazines are expenses, which are again account of expense. Light, power, electricity, telephone, postage and telegram, all these expenses are to be categorized as nominal account in nature. Similarly, I have put in repairs, insurance premium, bad debts written off, all being expense, so hence categorized as nominal account. Furnitures and fixtures purchased is an asset account, so real in nature. Bank account is an account of an artificial person, hence to be categorized as personal account. Printing and stationery, wages and salaries are expenses incurred by the organization in the day-to-day running of the business, so hence categorized as nominal account in nature. So in this class today, we learned the rules for debit and credit under traditional approach, how to classify the accounts under traditional approach. In the next class, we will learn about the process of journalizing business transactions. Thank you.